Pinaka-effective way to say this is we have a lubricant. I-believe ko yan, ha? Believe mo na lang. When I do sex stuff, malaswa siya pakinggan.
Okay, we're here right now with one of the funniest guys in the Philippines, Red Olero. Pressure talaga eh. Do you get that? Yung parang people say, uy, sample naman oh.
Yeah. Grabe. Parang yun nga yung yun yung bad trip sa stand-up. Kasi kala ng mga tao parang you could pick up a mic and do it anywhere. You don't. You can't do that anymore.
You know, I just realized, I read somewhere, and I've heard this before, na parang the saddest people are comedians.
Yeah.
Totoo ba yun?
Well, with my peers and myself then, I think it's up there. Parang, it's like any other art, I think. Kasi, when you express something, it usually comes from pain or any kind of like negative feelings na gusto mong i-turn into something. Because yung mga overwhelming feelings mo and yung mga memories, experience, mga ganyan, comes from trauma or ganyang klase, then you turn it into ano. Ang just so happens that our art is comedy, making people laugh. So, lahat ng ginagamit naming feelings are coming from negative stuff. And that's where the funny comes from. You can't talk about like, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa audience, uy, nanalo loto kahapon, tapos hindi sila tatawa eh. Parang either maingit lang sila or alam mo yun, hindi siya magandang topic eh kapag ganun eh.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Binanggit mo yun na a lot of the funny stuff comes from pain.
Yes.
Not from the good things that happen. Oh nga, no?
If people talk about their wives or their girlfriends, it's always what irritates them, kung ano yung problema nila, and people can relate and they laugh about it. But no comedian ever will come in and say, I have a very healthy relationship with my non-toxic girlfriend or my non-toxic wife, di ba? Wala eh.
Pero ano sinasabi mo, mga relationships are toxic?
Oh, I mean like the one that you point out to use to comedy are the negative parts. You don't talk about the positive ones. Or maybe
Right.
spin a positive one into a bad one. Yun lang. Yun lang parate.
Right. And for the viewers, I wanted to invite Red kasi I wanted to talk about yung gaano ka powerful ang comedy.
Oh, thank
in
you.
terms of, well, I see, this is the thing eh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way or not, but I think naman, yung power ng comedy in terms of shaping how people think and how it affects culture, even politics.
It is a palatable medium kasi. So technically, comedians, when they talk about stuff, yung philosophies nila, the way, the observations nila, they experience it seemed like any other person would talk about their stuff. Ang meron lang kami, may rapper lang kami, or how do you say this? Parang ang pinaka effective way to say this is we have a lubricant for the knowledge. So knowledge is hard to consume.
Right.
Dude, like you can't make everyone read the same book. But if you like lubricate it with punchlines and funny and puns and all that shit, papasok yun sa utak nila kahit anong mangyari. Kasi we're designing our act to be understood. So may side effect yan na, I don't know kung side effect, pero parang meron yang, kumbaga parang Trojan horse. Kumbaga,
right.
Diba? Na parang pinasok mo sa utak mo and then yun pala, you're learning about politics na pala, you're learning about culture na pala, all that stuff, anything actually can be used.
And I think at the same time, when you talk about lubricant, natatawa ako when you say lubricant.
Yun talaga yung best way to say it.
Trojan horse. But the idea kasi for me, why I thought about comedy is because when somebody has a contrarian view, the best way to have a discussion is through comedy.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
To get if we don't agree on something, tapos nagbabanggaan tayo, if you put it in a light way, in a comedic way, people will actually accept that idea more than if you hammered it down.
There's so much resistance kasi, lalo na if you are looking at something na alam mong pangit na, alam mo kung saan pupunta, alam mo you disagree with, you won't accept that eh. It's just the way we're wired, I guess. Parang ganun. But if someone like gets something, tapos nirepackage niya, nirepurpose niya, chopped it up, made into something more palatable, mas masarap na siya tignan, mas mabango na siya, then that's how the knowledge comes in. Kaya importante din, Like, I know comedy does that, but also entertainment does that. Like, movies and, like, kunwari, ito yung pinaka, ano ko baka maano ako. Kasi baka sabihin ng mga tao, dinidefend ko si Hitler. It's coming there. Wait lang.
We're going there.
Hindi ko dinidefend si Hitler. Sinasabi ko lang, si Hitler is so vilified and hated, appropriately so. Like, you can't do yung mga symbolism niya, yung mga
Right.
uniforms niya, yung
Right.
salutes niya. People are offended by that. Even with cultures unaffected by Nazi Germany noong time na yun. But, people are willingly doing costumes by Genghis Khan, Kublai
Right.
Khan.
Okay.
But in effect, those two were mass genocide people. They did the same thing.
Yeah.
They tawag doon, they conquered land, pillage, rape, murdered, 'di ba? But we don't see Genghis Khan as evil as Hitler nowadays. But we see Hitler as evil because we have Hollywood telling us that he's evil. We have history books telling us he's evil. So it's a lot of media na if you're pushing like a certain tawag doon, a certain thing in history, magiging popular talaga yung opinion na yun. Pero honestly, it's tawag doon, pag nakakita ka ng tao naka Genghis Khan costume in Halloween, hindi ka ma-offend eh. But there's people that dress up as Hitler na nakakancel sa
For sure.
sa Facebook, 'di ba?
But I think it's more because Hitler is more recent history
I guess
compared
so.
to Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
And then when you asked me that question,
Oh,
napaisip ako, ba't ako
1940s lang yun eh.
Oo nga, sabi ko, ba't ma-offend ba ako? Sabi ko, actually, I wouldn't know. Because I don't know
You don't know.
the atrocities as much as I would remember the atrocities of Hitler. Because Hitler, when that happened, man, it's in all the history books to remind us para lang, dude, let's not let it happen again. But then
World War
again,
II kasi, 'di ba?
Oo.
So very recent, very
so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
Diba?
but even in World War II, kunwari, who frames the narrative? Like kunwari, the Hollywood would make Saving Private Ryan,
Right.
Band of Brothers, and these are like movies I enjoy. Like sobrang ganda. And then syempre, pag na-enjoy ko siya, ma-realize ko, grabe, ang galing talaga ng Amerika, no? They did this, they did that, they saved Europe, they liberated the Pacific. They ended World War II. Sila yung biktima, inatake sila sa Pearl Harbor, ganyang klase. But then you hear about Dresden and all these like not sobrang heard of na stuff.
Right.
Na they also did war crimes. They also kind of like burned civilians alive. They dropped 2 atomic bombs in Japan, 'di ba? Mga ganong klase. So, parang iba talaga yung remembrance ng ano. It's because people made palatable stuff na people consumed, and then yun yung pumasok na knowledge sa kanila. Ganun lang yun. It's just how people are, ano. So
Yeah,
the same with comedy or anything.
Alam mo, naalala ko lang, when I went to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to see the museum
The war
about the
stuff?
Vietnam War.
Medyo wild, no?
Alam mo, nakakatawa, yung sinabi ko Vietnam War. Sabi niya, I'm sorry, what war? Sabi ko, Vietnam War. He goes, you mean the American War? Yeah, because there was a Korean War. There was a French War.
Yes.
There's nga, from their perspective, pag sa Vietnam, which war? Ang dami na gera din sa Vietnam. Then I realized, it is the perception is not just one. It is depending on who's looking at it.
Malaking bagay na meron kang global media powerhouse backing your country, which I think kaya US is like parang sila yung bida ng mundo eh. Diba?
Yeah.
It's because we consume all of these things. Like when the Avengers fight the aliens, they're always in New York. Diba?
Right.
It's like, watch out, yung bagel shop may sira, yung
Right.
favorite bodega ni Spider-Man. So we kind of like absorb these cultures and everything. So parang I think, just circling back to the topic, I think dun din naging importante yung entertainment, not just comedy, but entertainment as a whole, which I think baka hindi na ako magka-work nito, pero hindi siya sobrang effective dito sa local. I feel like, I mean, it's starting now. Like you have movies like yung Balota, yung like OTJ, yung mga stuff that talk about like the local issues and stuff like that. Hindi lang siya as popular. It's always like Cinemalaya pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
Pero at the same time kasi naman, if you look at it, look at television, look at movies, a lot, may theory ako eh.
Yeah.
Na bakit ang toxic ng mga tao sa Pilipinas? For example, there's this rich and poor divide.
Malaking bagay.
Palaging inaapi ako ng mga mayayaman,
Yes.
palaging ganun Then I
it's
say,
narrative,
where does that narrative come from?
Yeah.
From the movies.
Yes.
Tapos yung pag kunwari nag-aaway tayo, nag-aaway ang isang couple, may magbabato ng gamit. I'm like, why? And I remember, I was in a relationship before. Nagbabato ng gamit. And I was like,
saan galing yan?
then when I went to their family home, nakita ko palagi nanonood ng teleserye. And I said, no, may effect yan eh.
May effect yan, yeah.
Because when people watch it, they think that's how a normal couple acts.
Yeah.
Nagsisigawan.
This is valid to do.
Yeah.
Parang ganun. Yeah.
Na parang ito paggalit, nagbabato dapat ng
Yeah.
gamit. Sabi ko, pucha, talagang interesting to. And that's why sana maintindihan ng mga people in the entertainment business or audiovisual medium that they have a lot of power.
Oh yeah. Totoo.
Sobrang
May
grabe.
responsibility.
Yeah, di ba? So, in terms of responsibility, sa'yo, in comedy, are there mga parang topics that are medyo dapat wag mong gino-glorify o pinag-uusapan? May ganun, di ba?
Yeah.
Ano yun?
I think it depends kasi sa stand-up itself, pag comedian ka, it has a lot to do with yourself. So stand-up comedian, if you do it properly, like the real core stand-up comedy values is one, you don't do jokes na ginagawa na ng mga tao. Like if you do hacky stuff, like mga ganong klase, so yun yung term, like hacky. Yung tipong pinapasa na to sa text or parang nakita mo nang ginawa to ng mga iba-ibang reels or nakita mo na sa email to, nakita mo na sa joke book to. Yung tipong nobody owns this joke. Parang ganong klaseng type. Like so many people. Like kunwari, ako pangalan ko Red Oliero. Tapos bilang sabihin ng mga tao, dapat pangalan mo Jack Oliero. Parang ganon. So mga tao parang, ba't di yun yung introduction mo na, yun yung simula mong joke? Parang ganon. Sabi ka, like my dad does that, my tito does that. Alam mo yun? So sobrang, parang hindi siya dapat na gawin. So, that's one. Another value is you don't copy jokes. So, kunwari, if some other comedian is doing it or kahit foreigner, you don't take it or just translate it. Ganun. So, may principle na ganun. So, if you follow the core value of it, it should really come from your point of view. So, dapat, it's parang individuality to, like, talagang purong ikaw.
Right.
You don't have writers, or maybe if you have writers, you brainstorm with them lang. But ikaw pa rin ultimately, it represents your thoughts. So, when it comes to topic, it depends din kung anong moral compass mo. Like, kunwari ako, I grew up with a friend na has her arm cut off. But she plays basketball and she plays it well. So parang it has been like a parang very inspiring thing for me growing up. Like, isipin mo, you're playing with the basketball, pinapanis ka, pinifade away ka isang kamay, ganong klase. So parang may effect yan sa'yo eh. Like, when you assess it na parang, I've seen this person struggle, for some reason, I can't find it in me to write jokes about disabilities. Parang ganun. Hindi ko siya kaya. Because I've seen someone struggle and prevail from it. And I find it inspiring. So, hindi ko na siya, Pero if someone else does the joke and makes me laugh, okay lang sa akin yun. I won't stop them.
Right.
But, when it comes to personal stuff, personal choices, I think depends din siya talaga what you find funny. So, when I joke about politics, hindi pwedeng yung sinasabi, pantayin mo naman. Parang alam mo yan, di ba? Like, tirahin mo rin si Lenny. Parang ganong klase. Ako, wala akong nahanap na, maybe some, maybe, not as grave as, because I would do kakamping jokes din. Lalo na live. That's my favorite. Kasi kakamping ka nanonood sa akin.
Right,
so, when I do
right.
kakamping jokes, nagugulat sila na parang,
You make fun of the people kasi there.
Like, parang, umattend ba yung rally o nanood kayo yung Ben and Ben? Ginaganon ko sila parati. Tapos nasabi ko sa kanila, wala pala kayo, nanood lang kayo. Ako, nag-volunteer ako. Ganun yung mga jokes ko around
Self-deprecating.
it. Yeah, self-deprecating. So, the choice of everything, the choice of the topics, na going back to your question, yung topic, yung things na you're pinipili mo kung ano yung blow up mo, hindi. It really depends on your morality. Kung ano talagang, So, it depends on like, there's no like set rule for all comedians to follow.
Meron akong pet peeve. I don't know if that's the right word, pet peeve. Sige, let's just use pet peeve. When I find when comedians ginagamit nila sex.
Oh, yeah.
And I find that to be the lowest form of comedy. Agree or disagree?
No, I disagree. I love sex jokes.
Ooh, okay.
Kasi it's such a... I think, ito rin kasi, may mga tao na doesn't like the bastos stuff. And I get it. Completely get it. Well, kasi, lalo na sa culture natin, we don't talk about that shit, di ba? Ako, I came to a point in my life, kasi mag-20 years na ako mag-stand up eh. Sa simula, like talagang gusto ko sabihin yung mga words, mga keywords, mga ganun, tamod, mga ganun, sabihin mo kaagad, ganyan.
Copyright strike. Ano ba ako? Magkakaroon ba ako ng violation?
Mawala ka ng monetization.
Mawawala ba monetization ko? Ibibilip ko yan, ha?
Ibilip mo na lang. Basta it's a raunchy word. So, yung mga buzzwords in itself, nakakatawa eh. So, it's easy. So, ngayon, ang sinasabi ko sa mga younger comedians, I know it's tempting to do the sex stuff because it's easy. It disarms them, it's funny, ganyan kagay. But what you do is you learn to do clean stuff first. So you know how to make a joke talaga out of something that's not funny. And then, when you've done that, go back to the sex stuff that you used to do and makikita mo kung gaano ka-cheap yung ginagawa mo. Now, what I do is, I do sex stuff kasi now I know how to actually make a joke out of it. So, if you see it, like when I do sex stuff, malaswa siya pakinggan. Siguro, there's a good 10-minute bit of my Netflix special about yung sex life mo during pandemic. Parang ganong klase. So I had stuff like that. Na parang yung mga kinks ng mga tao, mga ganong klase. So those are from, hindi naman siya totally real. Like parang it's exaggerated experiences. Pero I think I frame it in a way na yes, it use the raunchy words, pero it's still the joke. That's why it's funny. Hindi lang dahil sinasabi mo yung cheap stuff.
Right. Okay. So I think from how it sounds, I think we both agree that
yeah, I get your point.
it is when I say lowest form, I mean it's the easiest way to get a laugh.
Oh yeah, it's very easy.
Kasi it's so taboo na basta banggitin mo lang. I bet you sabihin mo lang yung isang body part, tatawa na yung mga tao, di ba? Parang gano'n. Parang
I would go as far as doing like kunwari if I say the raunchy word and tumawa yung mga tao, sabihin ko sa crowd, no, hindi pa yan yung joke. Nakatawa lang kayo dahil nakakatawa yung word, pero hindi pa yan yung joke.
Right, okay. Yeah, and so I don't mind kasi it's not like I hate sex jokes. Everyone loves a good sex joke. It's more of, pag yun ang ginawa lang ng comedian, para sa akin, parang, come on.
Gets ko yun.
I'm paying good money. I wanna hear your wit.
Lalo na, yun nga yung sinasabi ko rin sa kanila.
Wit.
Like, parang, these guys are paying you a ticket. Sabihin natin, okay, kahit ticket mo 300 ticket mo, transpo nila probably like 200 going there, food another 300. They pay like probably 1,000 and your show is on a Saturday. So it's the 2 days na may break ang isang tao. They come to your show. And then you're gonna present like cheap shit or worse yung mga tao. Sometimes they do hacky jokes na nakikita mo naman sa email, mabasa mo sa internet, na everybody nasa utak nila. Gotta give them more than that if you're gonna call yourself a professional comedian, di ba? Parang
right.
ganun,
What about mga topics that shouldn't be talked about, for example? Religion.
I do a lot of like Catholic jokes. I think kasi there was a blog that parang used an example of my joke kasi parang may time na some dude did like a di ako tumatawa dahil did like a parang reel na nire-review niya yung hostya. It's like a hostya food review. Parang ganun, ang dami na offend. Di ba? Parang
really?
Yeah, dami na offend. Kasi, pag kinag-usapan ko nakakatawa yung concept. Pero when he did it, medyo pangit din eh. Hindi din maganda yung pagkakagawa. So, naburat yung mga tao. And then he did like a blog or a post or whatever. Tapos sinabi niya na, a tasteful way of doing jokes about the Eucharist is how Red Oliero did it. Kasi I had a joke about tungkol sa hostya. Tapos ako parang, dude, you're just pointing attention to me.
Right.
So yung mga tao parang pumunta rin sa clip na yun. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad. It was like 50-50. I thought it was like parang intense na ika-cancel ako and everything. But the point of the joke that I did was, nung grade 2 ako, we all did first communion, 'di ba? Tapos ako lang ba yung na-disappoint sa lasa ng hostya? Yun yung akin. Because sabi ko, kasi parang in-overhype nila. Ako matakaw akong bata. Pag may sinabi ka sa akin, uy, di ko pwedeng kainin to. Pag grade 2 ka lang, pwede mo kainin to. So, na-hype ka. Tapos nakain mo, wala siyang lasa. So, ako parang, ba't ganun? So, the whole point of the joke is like, hindi ba tayo pwedeng maglagay ng flavor sa hostya? Like, kunwari, di ba? Kung sinasabi kung sinasabi tong body of Christ to, Diyos natin to, tapos i-present mo siya nung wala siyang lasa. Di ba? Parang nakaka-offend, di ba? Parang ganun klase. So, yung joke na yun, when I wrote it, it kind of opened up myself to doing jokes about my Catholic upbringing. Na parang people usually don't talk about it. Kasi I think automatically when comedians talk about it, it's always anti-Catholic. It's always parating, naniniwala kayo kay Lord? Di naman totoo yan. Parating ganun. Parating atheist stuff.
Right.
Parang ganun. So ako, I want to not really go against religion, but more of like yung mga nuances niya about it. Like, kunwari, I love going to church before kasi sobrang gusto ko yung mga church songs.
Okay.
Like, I don't go to church now because hindi ako religious. But I used to love going with my lola. And then, naalala ko, sabi ko, every time mag-attend ako ng wedding, it's the church song still there. Kabisado ko pa rin. Even though like years I haven't been. Ganyan kalasa. Kasi ganun siya kaganda. So, sabi ko, ang problema lang, sobrang ganda ng church song, but you can't bop to it. You can't,
right.
You can't be like, alam mo yan, parang di mo pwedeng ibigay yung sarili mo. Kasi parang the whole punchline there was like parang hindi ka pwedeng magwala, hindi ka pwedeng kumanta ng malakas, hindi ka pwedeng gumanon. Ganun kasi yung lola ko nagagalit sa akin pag gumagano ako kasi sasabi niya, bumaba ka nga sa upuan. Parang ganun klase. So parang that was one of the things na find ko na we're worshiping, but you're only allowed to worship at this level of emotion.
Right.
Which is weird kasi you're telling us to love this person, go to church every Sunday for him, but you're only allowed this amount of emotion to it. So ako parang conflicted siya sa akin. So that's what I tell. Yun yung mga sinasabi kong storya. Like parang, and a lot of people can relate. Na parang ganun. Like kunwari, if you read yung mga misalet sa mga bisita iglesia, and then you're supposed to read it in a very solemn prayer way. As ako parang, may dalawang character doon, ba't di ko sila pwedeng bigyan ng ibang boses? So, para may experience ako na ginagawa na when we do bisita iglesia, iba yung boses ni Pontius Pilate, iba yung boses ni Jesus, nagagalit sa akin nanay ko. Kasi nakakahiya daw, binibigyan ko ng boses. Sabi ko, hindi ba parang ito yung tamang way? Like, ang weird naman kung pares lang mo lang sila sinasabi. May dialogue may script Parang ganun klase. So, yun yung mga ways ko of like, talking about religion. It's not anti. Some people would be offended. Kasi, like, lalo na pag live, when you say church, the buzzwords like pare, church, Jesus, God, parang you feel like a proverbial crossing of arms. Parang,
no, really?
Parang pasara na yung ano nila.
Talaga? Until now?
Until now.
Wow.
Yeah. I think now, ngayon, mas maluwag because when I do shows, they know me na. So parang,
they know what to expect.
Yeah, they know what to expect. Parang ganun klase. So
Interesting.
they've seen the stuff online. These are stuff that I have online.
Yeah.
Stuff I have on Netflix. Parang ganun klase.
I'll
So,
look it up nga.
yeah, they have like a parang naramdaman mo yung ganun. And then now, it becomes like a challenge for the comedian now. Na, can you make these people laugh when they're closing their minds on you? So, dapat, maganda talaga yung joke.
Right.
Kasi, putya, wala na sila sa condition na,
Yeah.
sige, tatawa ako for you. Parang ganun. Wala na ako sa mood na ganun kasi pinag-uusapan mo na yung dapat hindi pag-usapan
My God.
Now it becomes a challenge. Diba?
So two things that came into my mind. Number one is, tama yung sinabi mo, I think na, pag-celebrate, dapat talaga parang full emotion.
Yeah.
Christian church do that.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, oo nga eh.
Mga yung Hillsong, rock and roll yan.
If you're Catholic, bawal yan, di ba? Like, choir lang pwede.
Ako kasi like I've gone to Christian gatherings,
Victory.
CCF.
yeah.
I've gone to all, and I'm a Catholic. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't
Parang
think so.
for me naman, whatever helps you.
Ako naman, I find it tiring kung talagang gawin mo siya every Sunday. I'm like, oh man, nakakapagod siya. Parang ganun yan.
Yun, agree ako sa'yo doon. Actually, kaya hindi ako nakakapunta kasi sinasabi ko nga, grabe kumakanta sila ng 30 minutes na nakatayo.
nakatayo.
I'm like,
Buti aircon yung church.
pero napapahubo ko. Like, teka lang, I need a break. My God, nakakapagod to. Ang taas ng energy for 30 minutes. Hindi ko kaya. Sabi ko.
On a Sunday, diba? You're supposed to rest. Diba?
So that's one. The other one naman is, I'm surprised na tabu pa pala ang religion. Kasi I have a really funny... I tell this to a close circle.
Tingnan mo?
I have a very
The fact
fun...
that you only tell this to a close circle.
No, because every time I tell it to my close circle of friends, they always say, Chris, don't ever do that in an open mic. And I'm not a comedian, but it's so funny in my mind. But every time I tell the story, people find it funny. Maybe I'll tell you off air. I don't want to say it on cam, especially after
Don't
sabihin.
risk it.
But for me naman kasi, I always thought the Catholic faith would be a little bit more tolerant versus the other religions.
Oh, yeah. I think they're the most. Kasi I think dahil there's a good comedian that says this, si Louis C.K. He says tinatanong ng anak niya kung may iba ba ng religion. Ba't tayo Catholic? Parang ganong klase. Parang sinabi niya, oh no, there are other religions. It's that the Catholic one is the one that won. Tapos parang there are people that debate him down. Oh, how can you say that? Ganyan. Tapos parang ang panapos niya sa debate na yun is he says, what year is it? Parang noong time na it was like 2016, 2017. Parang sinabi niya. Parang yung sinabi ng guy, 2017. 2017 of what? Of what? Gumaganon. What is it? It's what? After death of Christ, diba? Can you imagine the whole world follows this calendar? This year system, diba? So talagang makikita mo kung gaano ka-influential yung Catholic.
Yeah.
Diba? Dun pa lang eh. Because we think it's just a way of life, but it's very rooted in religion, diba?
Right.
2026 ngayon. It's not 2026 of the world. It's
Right.
2026 of after death of Christ or whatever Catholic person said it was the death of Christ. Diba?
Right.
Diba?
Okay.
So, he did the whole bit about that. Tapos ako parang, I think that's why they're more tolerant because Catholicism is not just like parang part na talaga siya ng culture ng lahat eh. Alam mo yun?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But they're still not. Like, lalo na yung, kailan ba to? When I was recording my Netflix special, I think 2-3 years ago, my ending joke was that joke I told you about yung nagbabasa ako ng iba-ibang roles sa Misalet, ganyan klase. So it's pretty much me reading Jesus got nailed on the cross between two thieves tapos ina-act out ko na nag-uusap sila parang ganong klase in a very funny way. So yun yung ending ko. And then I think a week before we were gonna shoot that. Like I've done that joke like 3 years na. When the week before we're gonna shoot that. Si Pura Luca Vega, drag
Right.
artist,
Yes.
did an Ama Namin lip sync in like Ama Namin clothes, in Jesus clothes. And he got persona non grata. And actually
Yes.
went to jail for like 4
Yes.
days or something
Yes.
like that.
I remember that.
So I'm like, nag-meeting pa kami nung producer, nung director, like, yo, I'm ending with this bit. I asked Netflix, they don't care. So, wala silang pakialam. Go. How about you guys? Kasi masasabit kayo dito kung mag-blow up to and everything. And also, what do you think? If it's safe or not? And they're all like saying, kaya yan, okay yan, parang ganong klase. Because I think I didn't just lip sync it. May premise eh. Alam mo yun? I framed it in a way na frustrated ako because gusto kong sumamba. Gusto kong mag-worship properly but they're not letting me. So, ganun yung outcome. So, parang ako, the people who actually went through the joke and saw yung premise and everything, nagets nila, nakita nila yung context. They're fine with it.
Right,
But if
right.
you just see, which is yun din yung tingin kong nangyari mali dun sa Luca Vega, they just saw the clip eh. They didn't
Right,
see the
yeah.
whole build-up towards it or whatever. Kung ano man yung, actually I don't know, kung ano man yung buong performance, akala nila parang yun lang yung performance eh. Kasi I think that was like 1 of like 6 or something like that ng time na yun.
Pero that one kasi I remember when I heard about it, yung kay Pura Vega, no? Tama. I didn't see the clip nor what he said. I think lang what was offensive was the visual.
Yeah, visual, yeah.
That was
Malaking bagay yun.
Malaking bagay yun. More
Yeah.
Kasi I think people saw the visual and goes, I don't agree. Ganun agad.
Ganun kagad yan. Kasi
And-
if you watch it without sound,
Yeah.
offensive kagad siya eh.
Yeah, it
Yun yung
looks
problema
offensive
dun.
yun. So, but what he did or say, I don't know. But obviously, the church was offended enough na talagang nagsampa ng kaso.
Ang wild nun
Yeah.
Dun ako parang, I think there's a level of offense na feeling ko na dapat hindi mo siya dapat inaano. Kasi it's encroaching on like, so what can you say now?
Yeah.
Yun yung mahirap dun eh.
You remember Carlos Celdran?
Yes.
That's
yes,
another
yes.
one.
Oh, it's another one.
Di ba?
Oh. But that was straight up protest inside.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oo.
But the point was still the same. Na parang, dude, that was a protest. He wore Damaso clothes.
Yeah.
And then made a parang, but tapos nakulong siya. I was like, dude.
Yun din kasi they're very powerful din. Yun din. And I would try, and I'm not sure of what they do, kung anong ginagawa nila doing those bits. But before I do anything that I publish, that's been like toured around. Like before the Netflix one, that show has been performed over Zoom. Over,
right.
Kumbaga parang
Okay.
nag-litmus test na ako if this is really offensive or not. Parang ganun, di ba? So, okay, all the shows, they find it fine, ganyang klase. And I've done shows naman na, kasi comedians have open mics. So we have like smaller shows that test our jokes. And I've done jokes na, oh, this didn't track well. Parang, this is more offensive than not. So, hindi ko na siya ginagawa. Parang ganong klase. May mga ganong vibe. And I've done, pero meron pa rin mga taong na-offend. Live, not so much. Like, I remember I did a joke na talagang sobrang ganda live the whole time. And it's about the Eraserheads. And then when I posted it, they didn't like it at all.
Oh,
Parang
wow.
ganun. Parang ganun.
Interesting.
But the Eraserheads people, they like 2 or 3 of them have seen it. Natawa naman sila.
Okay. And then what about yung mga jokes na rape jokes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean,
don't-
comedians have done it.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, politicians.
Andun ako sa notion of any topic you can make a joke about. But you gotta have more care and more skill to pull off something na ganun katabu. Like I wouldn't touch that. Like even like 20 years in, I don't think wala pa ako naiisip na way to make it funny and everything. I've seen like comedians do it na nakakatawa, pero still parang it's not really good. Alam mo, hindi siya sobrang like, woo, genius. Hindi na siya ganun.
Right.
So parang ganyang klase. Kasi iba yung care. Kasi a lot of people think na parang we just go up on stage and say anything. I've like things that I publish online take years to do trial and error and everything. So parang there's a lot of care when I do my shit. Kasi may mga tao na parang, oh, kailan yung next mong special? When are you releasing another special? Like parang, gotta wait a while, guys, because I wrote that shit for 4 years.
Right.
So parang matagal pa, di ba? Kasi mga tao parang, wala ka bang bagong jokes? Dati kasi, when hindi pa ako ganun ka-popular, I would get a crowd. Hindi naman sila bumabalik, nila ako kilala eh. So I had this parang privilege din of just like repeating my jokes. Okay lang. Walang problema. But now people come back. And they're like, oh, same set pero natawa pa rin ako. Parang shit, guilty na parang you just see the same joke. May mga tao that are very appreciative. Oh, natutuwa ako kasi minsan may improvements, may ibang deviations, ganyan. Because comedians, when we do our shit, we don't just write it and then do it. Then tapos na, then we write again and we do it. We develop it eh. So
see.
parang when we do a joke na about something, it's like 2 minutes now, come back a year, it's probably like 10 minutes long na. Iba na yung atake. Or maybe we completely threw it away.
Right, okay.
So, I feel like if you're talking about taboo topics, it can't be just like something you throw away like what si Duterte did na parang randomly just do it. Parang no. Hindi siya gano'n.
Yeah.
Hindi siya dapat. Siguro ako nagiinuman kayo. Game. Pero at also, yun din sinasabi ko na, di ba tinanong mo like, pwede ka ba mag-sample ng comedy? Tapos sinabi ko nga, I think people think it's just we just pick up a mic and just do it. Mali eh. Kasi not only we just write it, we also set it up for you. Na dapat yung pinuntahan mong place, it's a comedy show. There's a mentality of people coming in. They buy tickets. I hate doing like free shows na people just come in.
Yeah.
Kasi anybody can come in there and not really say na manood silang comedy. Libre, pumasok lang ako.
Yeah.
Parang ganun klase. I want the ticket. Kahit gaano kamura pa yan. Sige, basta merong transaction na I paid for comedy. So that they have a mentality na comedy to. And then we're in an environment na your mind is like medyo may leeway. Alam mo yun, tamang konteksto lang.
Yeah, tama,
nasa
tama.
lugar. Yun yung
Yes.
sinasabi ng mga tao na lagay mo sa lugar. Yes, nasa lugar. So, kung ako, presidente ako ng Pilipinas, tapos nasa press con ako, hindi ko siya gagawin. Alam mo yun, di ba? Part of your skill as a comedian din is knowing when to say stuff.
Right.
Like, naalala ko dati may isang comedian na, ang storya, hindi ko alam to first hand, pero ang storya daw, meron daw celebrity na hinihiritan siya. No, tanga, mag-joke ka nga dito, parang gano'n kasi. Tapos ginawa niya, nag-set siya sa tabi ng table ng isang guy. Tapos, syempre, it wasn't, well, kahit gano'ng agaling na comedian, di ba? Wala sa lugar yung ginawa mo.
Yeah.
Tapos after niya mag-set, parang dun natapos yung gabi, parang lahat sila nag-uwian, parang ganong klase. So, ako parang, kailangan mo ilagay sa lugar yung stuff. So, pag sinabihan ka na, sample naman, dito naman, or even nga, like sa mga rally, when we do like the rallies, the things I would say there is completely different from what I would say. And the way I say it din, ibang klase. Kasi rally tayo eh.
Yeah.
Ba't ako mag-stand up dito? I'll do something different. Di ba? Parang ganong klase. But dapat nasa lugar. Kasama yan as a comedian. You don't just write the jokes. You also like make sure that everybody's in an environment of having fun.
Right.
Or
okay.
open-minded to take your jokes in, di ba?
Okay. And then, normally naman, I find Filipinos are, we're fairly open-minded, right?
Yeah. Depende. I would say, depende sa konteksto din. Kasi, kaya nagigets ko yung mga tao. Like I told you, I had an eraserhead joke that tracked well all my live shows, pero sa online hindi. It's because I clipped it eh. Wala siyang buwelo.
Walang buwelo.
Or
right,
walang ganong
right.
klase. So, nagigets ko. Like, parang nagigets ko how people would be offended online and not live. It's because walang buwelo, walang ano. So, dapat may understanding ka rin of how the crowd enjoys something.
Yeah.
So, Filipinos are pretty open-minded about stuff. Like, my God, may movie si Dolphy about being a priest.
Yeah.
Na sobrang, like, akala mo deep siya. Hindi, it's like, sobrang stupid punchlines lang talaga. And like, okay, I guess people watch this.
Right.
Klase. Like, Michael V does some, like, really wildly, kung ginawa mo today stuff na, malabo. Pero, syempre, nung ginawa niya yun ng time na yun, he had his ear on the ground kung ano yung nakakatawa.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes, okay. So sa ngayon, is comedy I'm curious lang, is it a profitable venture? Like I'm sure some people are watching thinking, I want to be a comedian.
Nung time ko, I remember, we were just about like 4, 5 of us na full-time talaga. Pero honestly, hindi naman talaga full-time because I still write on the side. I still do talent work and everything. So, hindi sobrang full-time, pero full-time. But now, probably the past 8 years or 7 years, yun talaga yung bread and butter ko.
Nice.
That's everything. All that stuff I do is probably paid for and by stand-up comedy. As in like tickets. As in like,
wow.
minsan may ganun. May time na year ko na parang, wow, I just mostly paid this via tickets.
Wow. You mean live shows, ha?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Nung after pandemic, I did like a small theater tour and some of it, dahil nga hayok na hayok ng tao na do live, I would sell it out in like mga 16 hours, ganong klase.
Wow.
So like a whole theater. And then parang may mga times na hindi naman sold out pero profitable pa rin because it's really easy to produce. It's just like kung na wala kaming banda, like you don't even have to worry about the drums.
Yeah, you just put the mic.
Put the mic on. Ang pinaka-rider ko is like water. Yun lang. Like if I do like private, I also do like private bookings.
I see.
For companies, ganyang klase. And ang maganda is a lot of people say that do you also host? I do hosting very seldomly. Like I would do like twice a year siguro.
Right.
Kasi if you're hosting, you're there for the whole program. It's like 4 hours. Andun ka minimum. And then siguro more pa, call time mo 1 hour, diba? Tapos makipagchikahan ka pa after, egress ka pa.
Yeah.
So may mga 6 hours ka nandun. Comedy, dude, you just show up there, you get on the stage, you do it for 20-30 minutes and you're out.
Right. Is that the maximum you'd say?
Na may mga tao that ask for like an hour. So I would bring like 2 comedians. I do like 40 minutes. That may 2 opening acts. I would do 10 minutes. But I remember naalala ko, I did a show with si Sam YG. He was hosting this parang corporate event. And then, I came in there to do stand-up. And then, parang medyo wild yung, parang, wild yung corporate event, hindi nila alam kung ano mangyari sa program. So si Sam na yung nagusulat ng program, ito, dapat gawin natin, ganyan. Doon ko rin nakita yung work ethic niya, medyo wild. So sabi ko, ano nangyari, Sam? Kailan ba ako sa patay? Alam bro, talagang inaayos namin. Ako na nagsulat ng program, gumagano'n. Hindi nila alam gagawin nila, parang ganun. Tapos naisip ko, buta lang, di ako yung host. Kasi kailangan ko lang intayin. Kailan ba ako sampa? Kailan ako matatapos? Tapos ganito pa sila. Minsan may ganito pa nangyari sa event. Red, okay lang ba? Kakat namin yung time mo by 10 minutes. You have to end earlier kasi medyo gahol kami sa oras. I'm like, sure, no problem. pero pag sinasabi ko sa kanila, sabi ko, talaga? Sige, no problem, kakayanin ko. Pero sa utak ko, yes. Parang less work.
Alam na nila yan. You're like, how much am I paid per second? Pwede.
Ganun talaga. And then, like, an hour of comedy is already a lot.
Yeah.
So, if you're doing like private events, probably half an hour is already long.
Yeah.
So, yun lang yung namin, yun yung usual scope of work namin.
Wow.
That's really
okay.
nice. Yeah.
That sounds like a good way to make a living,
Totoo, pero yun din lang, parang
Pero mahirap.
yung pa rin, it's the same thing na you still have to find your clientele, you still have to sell yourself, you still have to market yourself. Parang
Right.
ganun din.
Are there any comedy clubs out there na
There used to be one in BGC na talagang pang stand-up. It was a Comedy Manila partner bar called Brick Wall sa BGC.
Okay.
It unfortunately closed down. But we have another one sa Manila, sa Century Park Hotel. They were kind enough to, alam mo yung Cool Pals?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they record their stuff there, but they also do comedy shows there. So it's a Cool Pals bar sa cellar in Century Park Hotel. So that's a full-time comedy. Like they have open mics.
Full-time?
Full-time.
Every night?
Yeah. Siguro probably like 5 times a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or 4 times a week.
I see.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like a Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, kasi sa ibang bansa meron silang mga comedy clubs.
Yeah. Oh, yun talaga.
It's a real comedy club.
Tsaka people are like, pag stand-up comedian ka, you work for free. Minsan ganun.
Yeah, yung mga pag
mga
nag-start.
malalaki na,
Yeah.
mga malalaking club, you try and get this parang regular setup with them.
Yep.
And then, parang ang mangyayari is, you're like a regular comedian there, but you only get like a very small fee.
Yeah.
Pero it's fine with you because you get a regular fee.
Right.
Kasi pag bago ang comedian there, and even sa open mics nila, there's so many comedians sa eksena nila na you can't get a slot. Nilo-lottery nila.
Okay.
So I did like a club sa Vancouver called Yuk Yuks.
Yeah, Yokoks.
And
Yeah.
then when I came over there, may nag-vet sa akin na film comedian si Ron Josol. So they welcomed me. They gave me a slot. Parang ganun klase. So you have a slot. And then I noticed there's like some comedians there na nandun lang. So like parang, wow, ang daming comedians. Buong gabi to, ganyan klase. Tapos yung pala, most of them umalis na. So they're just there to just, inaabangan lang nila yung lineup. Like, parang wala ba kayong group chat?
Damn,
kailangan mo
okay.
pumunta dun, parang ganong klase.
Okay.
So ganun ka-wild yung mga comedy scenes sa ibang bansa.
Wow, Red, thank you so much for sharing a lot of your insights on comedy. I really appreciate it. I have one more question, and this one, we're gonna end with this one. Anong hugot mo? Ayan, ano yung deepest pain mo that you turn into laughter or comedy or you share with people?
Right now, it's the government. Totoo talaga eh. If you watch my shows, ewan ko, tumanda lang ba ako? Parang dati naman, I used to have political jokes before. But I wasn't as deeply ingrained in it until yung probably ng pandemic.
Yeah.
Baka dahil naramdaman ko yung, di ba, like we all felt it. So, dati I used to do a lot of awareness sa mga issues na hindi masyadong alam ng mga tao. So, mahilig ako sa mga ganyan. Mahilig pa rin naman ako sa mga ganyan. Pero ang pinakahugot ko talaga is like, it's proper voting talaga. Kasi yung mga tao, iniisip nila parang dapat bumoto kayo ng tama. But also, I think we also gotta look at how people campaign. Diba? Parang there's a lot of people na unfair advantage sila eh. Some nobody or some incompetent person that has resources can look competent with the right PR marketing strategy, with the right billboards, with the amount of celebrity endorsements they get. Yun yung ano. So ako, isa sa mga pinatry ko ngayon is that we should have standards in campaigning. Like, I think sa Japan, they do it na parang you only have this time sa ano mo, sa like
Oo nga.
ito lang yung OOH mo. Parang ganung
Yep.
klase, 'di ba?
Para pantay lahat. Kumbaga,
Pantay lahat, yeah.
kumbaga ikakap mo yung mga maraming
Yes.
resource to the level na
Yes.
kahit anyone else kayang tumapat doon.
My theory is, or my suggestion, hindi pa masyadong pulido, pero I've been working on it. The suggestion is, everybody just has a website. And it's templated. You only get 5 pages, 6 pages. And it has to contain your platform, your background, your CV, and then all the rest, yung 3 pages, ikaw na bahala kung ano gusto mong gawin. Bawal celebrity endorsements. Bawal na yung convoy. Ano tawag doon?
That one. Actually,
Kasi
it was
nagpaparade kayo and everything. Bawal mag-giveaway. You can't say you are paid for the friends of ganyan-ganyan. If someone does the paid for the friends of ganyan-ganyan, you get penalized. Parang mawawala lahat ng website will be down, mga ganong klase and shit like that. When you apply, parang may certain amount of stuff lang na pwede mong sabihin. You can't promise things na mamimigay ka, like 10K, pamimigay mo lahat.
Yeah.
2 billion, yung ilang billion, pag hiniwa-hiwa natin, gagawin 10K. You can't say shit like that. Parang ganong klase. It has to be platform. That's required lahat ng debates. But also, the debate has to be like pulido, na dapat merong parang gawin natin tennis. May 4 na Grand Slam debates. Tapos merong tour debates na bahala kayo na optional. Tapos everybody gets a point if you attend. Ganong klase. And then at the end, before saying you have a report that says dates attended, ito yung points, ganyang klase, blah, blah, blah. Tapos bawal lahat. Bawal commercial, bawal flyers, bawal ganyan. It's just the website.
Yeah.
Yun lang. You go, I think everybody can access a website. Siguro.
No.
I might be wrong. Pero parang ganun. Something like that.
Okay.
Not exactly like that.
So that's really what's on your mind now. So you have a lot of comedy material on politics, I assume.
Oh yeah. Sobra. Yung comedy, honestly, when I do it, it's probably 60% for myself and 40%, yes, this is my job and I need to make this funny for you guys. Parang ganong klase. But lahat ng hugot ko is coming from like pain, from watching Blue Ribbon Committee, flood control hearings, or now yung impeachment, or even like the posts of other people and how people react or how people ganyang klase. So, lahat yun nanggagaling sa akin. Tapos yun yung, kasi feeling ko pag di ko siya in-express, mga baliw ako eh.
Oo nga.
Yun eh. Yun naman talaga yun eh. I'm still doing the same thing I did since I was 18.
Do you do when you do political jokes? Okay, for example, I think one of the favorite punching bags of comedians would be Duterte.
Oh, yeah.
How do you, I'm sure there are people who watch you that support Duterte.
Bihira. I do this joke.
Bihira.
Yeah, because they know me naman. Like, if you're a Duterte supporter, bihira, like, probably 2 minsan in the crowd or minsan wala. As in, actually, madalas wala. I have this joke na siguro naman wala kayo kasi kilala nyo na ako, parang ganyan nga klase. And parang they actually yung Duterte stuff ko nga hindi siya masyadong konti lang siya eh. Hindi siya masyadong sometimes minsan nga meron nga akong joke na parang tungkol kay Harry Roque na dinedefend ko siya dati. Kasi maawa kayo sa kanya kasi siya yung in charge of spinning kung ano yung sinasabi ni Duterte na shit, 'di ba? And then kapag may yung boss mo sinasabi na pwede mong gawing disinfectant yung diesel, talagang hanap ka ng way na spin to kasi yun yung trabaho mo eh, 'di ba? Parang ganong klase. So may mga ganon akong perspective. I do kakamping stuff.
Okay.
Like I would do like kunwari yung time ko volunteering.
Yeah.
Like we would do house to house.
Right.
Talaga nung sinabing unahin yung tao sa laylayan, nagulat ako sa laylayan talaga kami pumunta. Yung naglalakad kami sa eskinita ng paharap bila may sideways na kasi sobrang kitid na.
Yes.
So I would do jokes na bumarang ako dun eh. Stuck ako, kumuha pa silang kalabaw para kunin ako mga ganang klase. Tapos nainisahan yung mga tao kasi ang daming mga star na nandun. Sila Edo Manzano, sila Cherry Pie, sila Agot Isidro, nandun, nag-door to door sila. Tapos siguro naiinis sila na, uy, ang dami celebrity darating, tapos ako yung kakatuklas sa akin. Parang, bakit ito yung nakuha ko nag-house to sa akin? Tapos yung joke ko parati na didebatihin ko na parang, sino pong bobotohin nila sa election? Si Bongbong Marcos. Talaga? Let me educate you. So parang mga ganong klaseng bits na I would say. And then, sabi ko, being a kakamping, it takes a toll on you kasi ang dami mong binoboycott. Like, naalala ko dati, binoycott namin yung Frankie's Wings. Remember this? Parang
I don't remember.
time na small lang. Very small time na I think nirefuse yung mga rally goers ng Lenny kasi BBM daw sila. So, hindi nila pinakain. Yung mga staff, di nila inupo. So, it got blown up. So, binoboycott nila yung Frankie's Wings. Sabi ko, paborito ko yung garlic parmesan wings ng Frankie's Wings. Nahirapan ako. So, talagang nag-sacrifice ako as a kakamping, kanyang klase. Tapos bila mamaya, binoboycott nila yung Contis. Tapos ako parang, wow, teka lang, easy lang, sobra na to. Parang ganun. Parang mga ganung perspective lang.
Okay.
It's not about having like an agenda na parang, porkit kakamping ka ko, I won't do kakamping jokes, diba? It's about having that freedom to do it. Kasi I feel like, kaya hindi ko boboto kay Sara sa 2028. Kasi I feel like, if I do Sara jokes at 2028, nang nakaupo siya, I think I'll be silenced. I feel like may ganun. Kasi yun yung pangbanta nila sa akin.
Yeah.
Nung 2022, they said, panalo na Unity. Hindi ka na pwede magsalita ngayon. Yun yung mga sinasabi nila, di ba, parati? Wala ka ng career.
Yeah, may ganun nga.
Wala ka ng career kasi ganyan na eh. Hindi naman, binabanta nila sa akin 2028, di na kayo pwede magsalita. Ganun yung sinasabi nila. Kasi I think, there'll be an operation to kind of like silence. And I think they've done that. At some point, yeah. So, if they are in power, they will do it. So ako, I'm always siding over people na would champion probably freedom of speech. Hindi lang yung kung ano lang yung okay sa inyo. Kasi like I've done the kakamping zones, I've done it in front of our politicians. Yung namin, natawa naman sila. Hindi naman sila.
I think the ones kasi nawala namang ginagawa kasi tend to not be the ones that are offended. It's the ones that are may ginagawa that would be offended by jokes.
Yeah.
You make a flood control joke, tapos meron dun may ginagawang kalokohan. Ma-offend talaga yan.
Oo, syempre.
Oo, tinatamaan mo siya.
Tinatamaan sila. Kabuhayan nila yun eh.
Oo, di ba? Pero yung sa kakamping, it's easy because everyone's like, yeah, okay, I mean, it's funny, it's true, but it's nothing serious.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, okay, Red, alam mo, salamat sa oras mo. It's already been over 40 minutes. Can
Is
you
it?
believe?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has. But I do appreciate your time
Thank you
and
so much.
I wish you all the best sa comedy. And for all the viewers out there, ano yung mga best moments ni Red na napanood nyo? Sulat niyo
my
sa
God.
comment section sa ibaba.
Yes, please.
And yung mga controversial, I want to know all about this kasi ako mismo hindi ko pa alam lahat eh. Write it in the comment section sa ibaba. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to please subscribe to this YouTube channel, The Flipside Network, where we talk about everything else aside from politics. It's basically the flip side.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks, Red.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.